Hey everyone, my somatic warriors. How's it going, everyone? It's been a minute. Today is November 20th, and I said I would be back November 20th to get some more material up for you. And it's been a busy couple of weeks, lots of transition, and even a change in my plans for this week. Which you got to roll with the stuff, right? And it definitely has been a practice in embodiment, me being able to meet the unexpected changes. And it's been a gift because it hasn't been as challenging this time around as it sometimes can be. And so a couple of things that have been coming up for me, personal and around getting the embodiment channel off the ground. It's been really fascinating to just, almost from a witness perspective, kind of step back a little bit and not have too much attachment to the input and allow it to filter. And so I want to talk about the importance of embodiment, why it's so meaningful for me, not just from a struggle perspective, because there's that, right? I could focus on the struggle perspective of getting embodied. I could focus on the pain body. That's a whole different level of embodiment. That's like at the other end of the spectrum of embodiment, where it's like, yeah, I'm aware of my body all the time, but I also don't want to be in my body because there's pain happening all the time. So there's so many different ways to look at embodiment, right? And just as we are focusing on this channel, somatic wisdom, we're talking about the many pathways there are toward embodiment, which begs the question, why? Why embodiment? Why do we need to be embodied? There's a couple of ways to look at that. There's a couple of answers to that question. There's probably many answers to that question. One of the things, or a couple of the things that I want to focus on are personal reasons, but mostly it's what I've been noticing around me, this culture around disembodiment, the split between mind and body, brain and body. We have medical systems that one is designed to address physical health, and the other is designed to address mental health, but almost as if the two are not connected. Mental health still takes place in the brain body, which is one system. And so even for our basic medical care, we're talking about a split. And one basic everyday thing for most folks is our educational system. We talk about preschool and kindergarten, and first all the way up to probably elementary, 6th grade, depending on where you go to school, depending on your access, depending on a lot of things. You may find that most students are sitting in a classroom, in a chair, for very long periods of time. PE is reduced, playtime is reduced, recess is reduced, arts and crafts are reduced. Music programs have been cut, underfunded for decades. I remember hearing about this when I was in school. That's been a long time ago. And so we're raising a culture of human beings that are being indoctrinated into this approach of disconnect from the body and only pay attention to the mind, the brain, the learning, the rote material, the repetition. You know, can you parrot back to me what is being taught? Give me facts, give me data. Repeat back to me all of the states and all of the state capitals, and maybe you get to incorporate the flowers or something. These very rote type of learning platforms, and there's no room for the body in there. You have to get a pass to go to the bathroom, and you're lucky if the teacher doesn't bathroom shame you around doing that. Getting that pass and going to the bathroom in front of your entire classroom and then coming back, well, what took you so long? That happens in classrooms, and if you think it doesn't happen, read Reddit, look at BuzzFeed, start looking at other alternative sources where parents on social media platforms, Reddit, all these other types of news media, communication, social media platforms are telling you what their kids are experiencing in the classroom, because it really is happening. So there really is this level of separation between the brain and our body, and that sets us up for a lifetime of mind-body split, of disconnect, of disembodiment. Ignore the fact that you have to go to the bathroom. Ignore your hunger because lunch isn't until a particular time. Ignore that you've been sitting all day. And this goes for adults, right? You go to an office and you sit in a chair all day, or you go to your job and you stand all day. And if you are caught sitting at your stand all day job, you're being lazy. If you are away from your desk at your desk job, you are not doing your job. You're screwing around, you're wasting time, all of these, and there's everything in between, right? I'm just using these two polarized extremes, and there's all of the gray area in between, right? I don't want to ignore that. I'm not just looking at, you know, the left and the right of things or the black and the white of things. There's everything in between that happens too. And all of those things reinforce what we are learning as children, or have learned as children, or are teaching our children right now about what it means to honor, respect, and listen to the sacred information that is coming from the body. This is why I am so passionate about embodiment practices. I don't care how you get there, because there are so many ways to come back into this sacred space, this sacred vessel. And what works for one person, as I've said in previous videos, may not work for someone else, and it may not work in the same way. Take yoga, for example. There are many types of yoga. So Ashtanga yoga may work for one person, and a yin yoga practice may work for someone else, where the Ashtanga practice didn't work for them. Hey, my best friend does Ashtanga yoga. They're always saying it's fantastic, and I'm gonna try it. Oh my gosh, that was the worst experience I've ever had. Try something else. Try a yin yoga practice. Try restorative yoga practice. You know, there are so many different ways to come into yoga and to come into your sacred practice that honors your body, that respects your body, that meets your body where it is right now. that helps you build a strong foundation of embodiment. And every yoga teacher is different. Every yoga studio is different. And so this could take some time. Embodiment, the path of embodiment, because I don't believe that we reach a pinnacle with embodiment. I don't believe that we get there and go, okay, I'm embodied, it's all great, cool. It's always a journey of embodiment. And so the path of embodiment, of becoming more embodied, and by embodiment, remember, we're talking about a mindful awareness of being in our body. That path has many stepping stones along the way. And so finding the right teacher, finding the right studio, finding the right group to be in, finding the right practice. It might be in a group. It might be my embodiment practices with my somatic therapist. I found embodiment through massage and body work. I found my embodiment through my running group or my walking group of seniors. It could be anything. It could be anything. I became a triathlete. I tried somatic experiencing. I found Feldenkrais. I loved it. I was in some chronic pain. I had to get structural integration, AKA Rolfing. It could be many things, and it could be a combination of those things. It could be 2 or 3 practices that get us there. For one person, it might be just one. This is the thing. It worked for me. I tried everything else. I turned a corner. There it was. I thought, this has got to be it, and wow. So my point is to not give up. Not give up your search for the embodiment practice that's going to work for you, because there's so many beautiful options, and I know that you will find your way toward your embodiment practice. And just keep trying, keep moving forward. And I just am so enriched by the articles that I'm seeing, the people that I'm talking with about embodiment and embodiment practices. And I know it is so challenging. It can be so, so challenging for a variety of reasons. It's everything that we bring to that moment that we're going to try this new thing. It's all the stuff that is following us. And it takes a lot of courage to find the right embodiment practice for you. It might be going to the gym. That might be the perfect thing for you. That you're mindfully aware of what is happening when you are on that treadmill, right? When you are on that elliptical machine. When you're doing laps in the pool at the gym. It could be any one of those practices. It could be all of them. But the key to the embodiment is the mindful awareness of being in the body. No matter what we are doing, no matter what embodiment practice we are utilizing, the biggest gift is, are we present in that moment that we are in our body? And my hope is that the answer is yes. So I'm going to stop with this video, and I'm going to pick up another video and talk about some things that have happened for me personally in the last couple of weeks since my last post, and which leads to another reason for this idea of embodiment, right? And why it's so important, why it's so key. So stay tuned, somatic warriors.